80,000 people hold their breath as a striker breaks past the defense. The ball hits the back of the net, and the stadium absolutely erupts. But down on the touchline, a referee raises a bright yellow flag. The whistle blows. The goal is wiped off the board. In that moment of collective heartbreak, almost no one in those stands actually knows why the goal was disallowed. They know the word offside, but the exact mechanics of the rule elude them. That knowledge gap ensures that every time a flag goes up, half the stadium is left arguing over a rule they can't fully define. If you ask a casual fan, they'll tell you the rule is simple. An attacker cannot be positioned ahead of the football when a pass is made. Look at this setup. The blue attacker is clearly closer to the goal than the ball itself. But when we zoom out to see the rest of the pitch, that red X turns into a green checkmark. While a player is always onside if they remain behind the ball itself doesn't set the forward limit for the attack. The true anchor for the rule is the defense. Specifically, it relies on the position of the second-to-last defending player, usually the final outfield defender standing before the goalkeeper. Offside is an active spatial relationship between two opposing players trying to outmaneuver each other. It's about the defender's shadow, not the ball's location. 3 strict conditions must align. First, the attacker must be past the final defender's invisible boundary. Second, a scoring body part, a foot, knee, or head, must cross that line. Hands and arms cannot score, so they are entirely ignored. The third condition is timing. The referee captures a freeze frame of the exact fraction of a second the ball is struck by a teammate, locking the player's positions into place. Geography, anatomy, and timing. If any one of those 3 elements is missing, the play continues. If all 3 align, the flag goes up. That timing requirement creates a constant source of confusion for viewers because there is a strict difference between an illegal position and an illegal action. An attacker can stand ahead of the defense all match. As long as they remain passive, position alone isn't a foul. The infraction only materializes the moment a teammate kicks the ball toward them, triggering a punishable offense. The violation simply does not exist until the pass is made. For over a century, enforcing this dynamic timing relied entirely on a human linesman sprinting down the sideline, attempting to watch the kicker and the receiver simultaneously. Then came the video assistant referee, or VAR. Historically, officials gave the benefit of the doubt to the attacking team in tight scenarios. VAR replaced that human grace period with cold geometry. Look at this VAR review. These thin blue lines track the absolute limits of the player's legal scoring anatomy. Referees now regularly determine the outcome of matches based on a 2-centimeter gap between a defender's shoulder blade and an attacker's armpit. Fans wait in silence for minutes, only to watch a spectacular play get erased over the length of a single toe. Technology applied an objective microscope to a subjective game. It ensures technical perfection, but it replaces the traditional flow of the match with clinical calculation. Even with high-speed cameras mapping the pitch, officials still have to interpret intent. This introduces a difficult complication, the concept of interfering with play. If an attacker is trapped offside, but the pass goes to a legally positioned teammate, the referee ignores them. However, if that offside player runs toward the goalkeeper, blocking their sight or forcing adjustments, they are penalized for interference. Because interference relies on human intent and perception, no computer can automatically call it. The rule demands human interpretation, guaranteeing it will remain a source of fierce debate. The 2026 World Cup will bring this scrutiny to stadiums across North America, where these technicalities will decide the fate of matches played on the world's biggest stage. Imagine the closing minutes of a knockout match. A perfectly weighted pass slices through the defense. The striker buries the ball into the net, sending half the stadium into absolute delirium. Then, the referee slowly taps his earpiece. A digital line reveals the striker's knee was leaning a fraction of an inch past the defender's hip when the pass was launched. The goal is completely erased from the board. Thousands of fans will scream at the referee, baffled by the decision. But if you follow the mechanics, you understand why the call was structurally necessary. Keeping the core conditions of the rule in mind makes the most complex moments on the pitch much easier to parse. Remember that the offside line is dictated by the defense, not the ball. And keep in mind that referees only measure the body parts that can legally put the ball in the net, completely ignoring the arms. The next time a goal is wiped off the board and the room erupts into an argument, you'll be the one person who actually knows exactly what happened down on the pitch.